Hello, and thank you for joining us for a public service announcement brought to you by the Brookline Interactive Group. My name is Cheryl Reeve, and I'm here to assist Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition in coordinating a very special event called Against the Tide. The purpose of Against the Tide is to raise money to support efforts towards breast cancer prevention. I'm the co-head chairwoman of the statewide Against the Tide Committee and a volunteer for ATT. There are many breast cancer organizations, as I'm sure everyone knows, but the MBCC stands out because its focus is on the prevention of breast cancer. MBCC is dedicated to preventing environmental causes of breast cancer, and the funds that are raised by the Against the Tide events are used so that MBCC can do outreach and through education and advocacy prevent more cases of breast cancer.
I'm a clinical associate professor at BU School of Education, and my specialty is applied human development. And I've been a breast cancer survivor for 3 years, and that's one of the things that really brings me to this. Our whole family is part of this effort. My wife is Dr. Lisa Fortuna, and she is a medical director for child and adolescent psychiatry at Boston Medical Center, and so she's been doing these races right alongside me and has also been one of the chair of the statewide, co-chair of statewide. And our son Alex, who is going on 12, has been with us for every race as well in the last 3 years and just recently finished the 5K run. So we're really active in supporting the work of the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Against the Tide events. I'll give you some details, and as we go along, we'll explain how it works. The Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition will be hosting 2 events in the summer of 2017. They're the swim, kayak, walk, or run events, and the first one will be held at the Hopkinton State Park in Hopkinton, Massachusetts. This is the 25th anniversary of the Hopkinton event. So we're very excited for that. That's a big deal. We have people that have been coming for all 25 years and some people that have joined us along the way. And the Hopkinton event is on Saturday, June 17th, 2017. And the second event is on Saturday, August 19th, 2017, and that's the 18th annual Brewster event, and that will be held in DCR's Nickerson State Park in Brewster, Mass. And if you would like to get some information about these events, you can go to www.mbcc.org/swim, or you can contact us by phone at 1-800-649-MBCC, and you'll get more information and be able to find out about registering for these events. Again, the purpose of the events is to assist MBCC with their mission to eradicate breast cancer and the causes from environmental toxins. Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about MBCC?
The Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition is really dedicated to preventing environmental causes of breast cancer. So there's a lot of work around research and investigation into environmental causes, toxins, and to do education around that, to do advocacy so that we know more about how to do things to prevent breast cancer.
Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. Since World War II, over 85,000 synthetic chemicals have been manufactured and released onto the market. However, less than 10% of these chemicals have been tested for impacts on human health. So that's really amazing when you think about it. We have a lot of work to do to figure out what the impact is, but we are relying on Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition to help us in that effort.
And it's really important to know that only 5 to 10% of breast cancers are thought to be hereditary. So, caused by abnormal genes passed from parent to child. So that leaves a lot of room for investigating environmental causes.
That's true. Michelle, can you tell me how you first became involved with MBCC and Against the Tide? I know that I first started getting involved with volunteering because unfortunately one of my close friends was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was very sudden, and I was very shocked by the whole thing and scared for her. And I kept saying, she's a young person, she's healthy, she's very active, and why does she have breast cancer? And what could anybody do? We felt very helpless. There was nothing I could really say to her, I think, to make her feel better. And I really felt very empty, wondering what I could do to help my friend. And I went to a presentation by Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition talking about exactly what Michelle said, that there are some things we can do to help prevent breast cancer. And I got very interested in the mission of MBCC and wanted to volunteer and support it. And so I got more involved with Against the Tide and going to the events.
Well, probably in the last 5 or 6 years, I've been doing triathlons, and that's what had really got me interested in doing the Against the Tide event, because it was a 1-mile open water swim, and I thought that would be a great training event. And really what happened at the same time that I was planning to participate in this event, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So it became just that much more important for me to be a part of this event. And, as it, turned out, I, had a very successful surgery and radiation therapy, and told my doctors, this is the thing I want to do, and it was important for me, and they were very supportive. And it was really important for me personally to show that I was still healthy, that I was well, that I could show that to my son, that I could participate in these events. And so I've been doing it the last 3 years, doing the event, and then the last 2 years also being a co-chair. But it's a very supportive community. I feel like I'm really contributing to help with prevention efforts, and that's very important for me, and just doing something really healthy.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that personal story, Michelle. I agree with you that everyone can take some steps in the right direction, that prevention is the cure. And it's very important, as you mentioned, for everyone to get educated on things that we can do and share that with your family. So the Against the Tide events are very much family-oriented, and again, a great way to let your family know what types of things you can do to prevent breast cancer. For example, be aware of the quality of your drinking water, and pay attention to consumer products and things that you're using in your everyday life that you just need to be more aware of, and look on the lookout for toxic chemicals. Michelle, why is this event so important?
Without this event, we wouldn't be able to help MBCC do all of the prevention efforts, education, research, dissemination, to really get out there and spread the message, to give people the information that they need about, what chemicals should they look for when they're looking at the labels of the household products that they buy. I think if I think about it personally, the most important thing is prevention is so much more important than anything else we can do, because there are great doctors, there are great treatments for breast cancer, but having cancer really is a life-altering event, and even if I can go into remission and be healthy, the side effects are really challenging. I wish that I never had it. I wish that nobody will ever have cancer. And any effort we can do and work with MBCC to help promote prevention efforts, I think is really important.
Yes, I agree with that. It's a surprising but sad fact that it's estimated 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And that's very scary when you think, 8 people in my family, 8 women, one of those people could have breast cancer. 8 coworkers, 8, people at your school, same thing. It's very scary to think that many people could be affected. And Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition is dedicated to getting rid of those causes, environmental toxins and things like that cause breast cancer. Michelle, could you tell us could you describe a little bit about the swim, kayak, walk, and run events?
Yes. So, the swim is fantastic. It's a 1 mile open water swim, and just to clarify that it's at Brewster State Park. So it's in Brewster at Nickerson State Park. So it's not in the ocean. It's in the pond, which is really warm and beautiful and blue. One of the fantastic things about this event is if you don't feel like you have the most confidence swimming, but you really want to try it, they've had swim angels, so people that are just out there swimming with you so that you feel supported, that there's kayaks if you need to take a rest and hang on. But the swim it's really well organized, and if you are a serious athlete or really involved in triathlons, it's a great training experience to be able to do like a 1 mile swim and then go on to a race where you might do a quarter mile or a third of a mile, or maybe you're doing a longer distance triathlon. So it's a fantastic training.
Great. And to register, you can go to www.mbcc.org/swim or call 1-800-649-MBCC. The registration is very simple online on the website, and it's easy to sign up for either one event or multiple events. And the event schedule itself starts off in the morning with registration, and then at 8:30 we start the competitive 1 mile swim and the aquathon, and then the recreational 3 mile walk, the 1 mile swim, and the 2 mile kayak. And there's plenty of snacks and things to do and family activities along the way.
There's also, just recently, starting last year, there's a 5K and a 10K, and those are USA track and field certified. So those are really good competitive races, and there are prizes, so that's also good to know.
Yep, and it only costs $40 to register for the first event and $40 for additional events. And then there's a discount for students, and they pay $25 for the first event. And the following events are $25.
And all the money goes to the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition for their prevention efforts.
Right. And Michelle, why do you think that Massachusetts residents should get involved with the Against the Tide fundraiser?
Massachusetts is a state with one of the highest incidence of breast cancer in the country, and we really need to do some work locally, which the MBCC does. So it's important to get involved to support those efforts, and it really is a way to support other people, women and men, who may have had breast cancer or dealing with it, or have family members that are dealing with it, and this is a really supportive, positive way to join together.
Yes, I agree. My family also participated in the events. My son has done the 5K run and the kayak, and my husband has done the kayaking and the walking, and I've done the 5K also. So you can go as a family, and everybody can do a different event, or some of you can do the same event. It's very flexible. And
so just to say more about the stats for Massachusetts, as we said, only 5 to 10% of people who have breast cancer have that through because of hereditary reasons. But in Massachusetts, that rate is 10% higher. So just to give you some more details about really the risks for people in the state of Massachusetts.
Yes, and on the website, www.mbcc.com, we also have some prevention tips and things to look out for. So as an example, you can use this list as you shop for things and look at labels. You're looking out for things like BPA, which might be in sports bottles, and BHA, that might be in lipstick, lead in children's toys, phthalates in shower curtains, fragrance in shampoo. Those are the types of things you can start to be aware of and try to avoid products that have those in the product. And you can also start to look into using alternative products. There are plenty of products out there that don't use all these chemicals, and we know that supports a healthier lifestyle. And how can people get involved with Against the Tide?
You can register again at mbcc.org/swim, or you can call 1-800-649-MBCC. One of the things you can, once you sign up, you can create your own fundraising page. At minimum, say it's $40 for that first event, but you can really ask your friends and family to support you, to sponsor you, and you can help raise money that way for this cause.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Again, the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition is hosting the Against the Tide events this summer. On Saturday, June 17th, 2017, we will be at the DCR Hopkinton State Park in Hopkinton, Mass. And on Saturday, August 19th, 2017, the 18th annual event will be at DCR's Nickerson State Park in Brewster, Mass. And please follow us on MBCC. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And again, you can register on the website. Michelle, can you just tell us a little bit about who can participate in Against the Tide and what level of ability?
One of the things that's really fantastic about this event is it really is for people of all ages, from the youngest kids to the oldest adults, and at any level of ability. So it's really exciting that there are some really strong athletes who participate in it, especially to do the aquathon, which is a swim-run transition. But there are people who maybe aren't that active. This might be their first 5K or first run or first walk and or first swim. And it's really a supportive place to do that, to really get out there and be active, and then to do it as a family. So all levels are invited, and would have a great time participating. But what's nice is that range. So if you're a serious triathlete, this is a fantastic event for you as well.
Right, and I think you mentioned just the experience of going to these parks, and there's this open water swim available, and people that are just starting out with triathlons get a great experience.
Great experience, great confidence builder, a chance to do transitions. Those are hard. This is a great way to practice with a lot of great support.
Great, thank you. The other thing is that you can also start a team and register your team with Against the Tide. You can bring your gym buddies, you can include your running group, a swim team, your family, your friends, get everyone to join a team. My son brought some of his friends that are skiers, people from his baseball team. So anyone that's active and does sports would love this. You can come to the parks and do kayaking, or you can do running or swimming or walking. So there's something for everyone, and we'd like you to consider creating a team and including some friends.
So again, the event is Saturday, June 17th at Hopkinton State Park, and Saturday, August 19th at Nickerson State Park in Brewster. So a great way to get around Massachusetts and see some of these wonderful parks out there.
We always can use volunteers.
Yes.
We need volunteers to do all sorts of jobs before the events and during the events, so please join us for that. You can put up posters. The students at some of the high schools, like Tantascwa High School and other area high schools, have been helping us out with putting up posters and joining us at the event. And Michelle, what are your favorite things about the Against the Tide events?
You know, one of the things I've done a lot, probably 30 years at least, of road races, 5Ks, 10Ks, marathons, and this race is one of the most well organized. It has fantastic like food, snacks, things to do. Like it really is a nice atmosphere for a race. I mean, I'm thinking of, after you've done a big event and you want a snack, there's like ice cream, bagels, really good coffee, really good sponsors. So it's very, very well organized.
Yes, I agree with that. It's very friendly to families and to athletes, whether you're a beginner athlete, just a recreational person, or you're a very competitive athlete. We welcome everyone to the event. I also really enjoy the events themselves because the parks are really beautiful. The two parks in Hopkinton and Brewster are just really nice parks with the open pond type atmosphere, and the runs are a little bit hilly, but very doable and very beautiful surroundings. Also, the other nice thing is the event is wrapped up by noontime.
Yeah.
So if you have other plans in the afternoon, you're going to a barbecue, you have something to do in the evening, you're pretty much done by about 12 noon, which is really nice. We also have raffles and family activities. Last year we had things for the kids to do. We had obstacle courses, we had some contests, and we raffle off some great prizes. So I'm going to urge everyone to participate. This is the Against the Tide events this summer at both Hopkinton and Brewster. The dates are Saturday, June 17th, 2017, and Saturday, August 19th in 2017. And to register, please go to www.mbcc.org/swim or call 1-800-649-MBCC. That's 1-800-649-6222. You can also reach out to MBCC for more general information about the organization and about the Against the Tide events, and to find out about registration materials. Again, very quick and simple to register online. I'd like to thank you, Michelle. Did you have any closing comments?
It really is a fun race. The other thing that was instituted this past year is having a triathlon team that does support and training for people to help them get some confidence in that open water swim, and they did some additional training at Walden Pond. So
that's right.
There's really a lot of encouragement and support for people who want to, push themselves a little bit and really have a good time with their family and friends.
Right, so registration is open now, so if you'd like to register and possibly start up a team, you can start planning your training events like you're saying, and you have plenty of time now to get in the water and start your running routines and get ready for the summer events. So don't forget, the Against the Tide events are this summer, and they fund the efforts of the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition, which is dedicating to preventing environmental causes of breast cancer. I'd like to thank everyone, and I hope to see you this summer at Against the Tide.
Yeah.
And thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Take care.